fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Quintesson High Commander from the Transformers 1 line from Hasbro. Now this is in the same packaging as the Prime Changer line, but surprisingly it is not labeled as a Prime Changer on the side. I'm assuming because he's not a Transformer, he's a Quintesson, that's my guess. But we have the same style of packaging. You have the open window here. You have the artwork on the front of the alt mode. Kind of this just like organic blob that kind of looks like a jet. I don't know. To me, it looks more like something from the Metroid series that Samus would take out. But we have some artwork over here on the side of the robot mode and the alt mode. Over here on this side, we have that group shot with the Transformers 1 logo. Not really anything going on the bottom. Again, have a similar group shot with the Transformers 1 logo there on the top. And spinning it around to the back. The alt mode that's actually shown here in the product shot does not really resemble the thing on the side. I mean, I guess it does a little bit. I think it looks a lot cooler over here. This is okay. We'll see how it goes. It says it takes 18 steps. I honestly just can't believe that. We'll see how it goes. But apparently it also comes with a little Energon cube as well. So got the product shots of the robot mode and the alt mode here on the back. I'm going to go ahead and get them out of the packaging here and we'll take a closer look. So here is the Quintesson High Commander out of the packaging, and I don't know what to think about this one yet. It's really not that exciting. I will say some of the details are pretty good. You can see the head sculpt here. Guy definitely has a head like the Guyver, if anyone's familiar with that franchise. Definitely giving me Guyver vibes there. The head is on kind of a ball joint where it can kind of go in and out a little bit. It can certainly spin side to side. This whole section could come out and it has a hinge for the transformation, but if for some reason you wanted to have the head kind of come out like that, I kind of think that's a little cooler, and it definitely gives you more range of motion with that. Plus you can kind of see like the fuselage piece is hanging out in the inside there, but it kind of looks like an organic inside. So I don't know, I kind of like it more like this with the head kind of coming out more, but it's up to you. There is a hinge there and you can see the pin for the hinge there. But I guess technically you're supposed to have it pushed all the way in. But then you can only really get a swivel out of that. You have a ball joint here in the shoulder, so you can go all the way up. You can go front to back, but it really does immediately like hit into this part of the body here. So you can't really have the arm face straight forward. Like that's about as much as you can get, which I think is kind of a design flaw. I really don't know why they did it that way. You can't really raise the arm forward, but you do have a ball joint here in the elbow. So you can get some movement there. You can certainly have him, point his little tentacle hand forward if you'd like. You have this piece which moves mostly so you can utilize this joint down here for transformation. But if you wanted to utilize it for some reason in robot mode, you could. You have these two like translucent jelly pieces of plastic here done in this purple with just the tips kind of painted green. It's a cool effect and I think that it looks good. But there's not really much you're supposed to do with these. You could leave them straight down. You can angle them out to the side if you want to. Whatever angle you think looks best. That's up to you. This whole piece just hangs out here. And then you have this kind of foot here, which I guess you can move this up and down. I wouldn't really call that ankle rotation or ankle movement. But you have a piece of that same translucent purple there. And that's just for him to stand on. So, yeah, I don't know. Not the best. Definitely not their best figure. He's here. He's all right, I guess. For a size comparison, here he is with Prime Changer Optimus. And let's see, who else do we have? Here's Alpha Trion. And here he is, Sentinel Prime. So I'll bring these all around so you can see he's about the same size. He's maybe a little smaller, but I would say he's pretty much on par with the others. So he's all right. But yeah, I don't know. I definitely think it's their weakest one by far. And when we get to the transformation, you're going to see that even more so. But that's pretty much it for articulation. He does come with this little Energon cube, and if you want, you can store it inside his body. You can actually pop this down, pick this up, and this is the same place it's going to store in the vehicle mode, but you can pop it in there and then close this back up if you want. So if you want it in his body, you can. But I find it doesn't close up as well. Like, you can kind of see this isn't really... I feel like this isn't lining up properly. I don't really know why. But you can kind of close it up with it inside his body if you want to. Open this up and pop this out. Yeah, I don't know. You can see how it's kind of cockeyed there. I don't think it's supposed to be. But it doesn't really matter. In any case, there you go. There's your Quintesson High Commander. We'll get into the transformation. So you may be surprised to learn that the transformation is very simple. Now, they say it's 18 steps. Okay, if you say so. Lift this up. Flip this down. Flip this up. This section is going to flip out, and then this is going to flip out like this, spin around 180, and then you can see there's kind of like a little groove for the top of his head spike to sit into, and then you're just going to close this up like that. Then you're going to spin this. Now mine, for whatever reason, doesn't like to spin this way. I don't know if there's like a little piece of plastic on the lip or something like that. It kind of just pops right off. But you can just kind of spin it the other way. It's not that big a deal. At this point, make sure that's aligned correctly. You're going to kind of just push this down and tuck this back as much as it can. So you kind of have it at an angle like that. And then you want to just bring these in as much as you can. And the tentacles kind of have to sit inside. If you can kind of see, like, the bottom one here has to kind of sit on the inside of this. And then that will allow you to close this up. You can see that there are two tabs right here, and they are going to tab in right there and right there. So you just bring this down. I guess before I do that, I should bring the arms up. Bring the arms up like this, and then you're going to want to rotate the hands or forearms out to the side like that. This is going to come down, and make sure you squeeze those jelly pieces in so that this can close down, and then it will peg into those two spots. This section you just fold back down, and then there are two slots right there, and this one's already kind of lined up, but you can see that the tab right there is just going to peg in right there. And that's it. That is your vehicle mode, we'll call it. Alt mode, whatever you'd like to say. Kind of reminds me of those weird, like, Cobra Law jet fighter things from G.I. Joe the movie. That's kind of where my head immediately goes. It's okay. Again, you have this big square cavity here, so you can go ahead and pop the Energon Cube back in there if you want. I mean, I appreciate that they tried to make it transform. I don't know if we'll actually see it transform in the movie. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it kind of resembles an aircraft of some kind. But it's interesting. So yeah, I gotta be honest, not their best with this one. I get what they're going for. You know, they wanted to include one of the villains because, you know, at the start of the film, there aren't really Decepticons yet. So they wanted to kind of put in one of these guys here. Yeah, I don't know. Quintessons have never been something they've really been able to do. Obviously, the ones they did, I think, as part of Evolution, I think were probably the best. Especially the one that was part of that gift set. But then when they try to make them transform, it just doesn't work. I almost would rather you just... We all agree they don't need to transform. They just don't transform. That's not what they are. And then you could do a better job. I do, honestly, I kind of like the purple, you know, translucent kind of gummy bits. I didn't think I would at first, but they pop. The rest of this guy is kind of, you know, mundane with the color scheme, but these really pop, and so I think that's kind of cool. I really don't like this whole leg and back piece here, and these are trying to distract from that and mildly succeeding. I think it's weird that you can't move the arm forward. That's kind of the biggest complaint for me. The head, like I said, you can kind of move this out, and I think that kind of works a little better, just gives it a little bit more range of motion and makes him a little bit creepier looking, in my opinion. A little transmutate kind of thing going on there. But that's up to you, whatever you know, whatever way you like to pose it, it's up to you. But yeah, I mean, when you think about the fact that this is the same price as Optimus and Sentinel Prime and Bumblebee and Alpha Trion, I don't think it compares. I mean, if this was a cheaper figure, maybe $10, maybe $15, I could forgive it a little bit more. I mean, the paint applications are good. You know, some of the articulation is okay, but for the most part, it's just not on par with the others. The other Prime, and I can understand why they didn't include this in the Prime Changer line, because it's certainly not up to snuff, but it is the same price. So maybe wait for a sale for this one. I don't know if this is a Walmart exclusive or not, but that's the only place I've seen it so far. I saw it was on their website for a short time and went out of stock. I actually found it in my local Walmart today, so don't know if this is a Walmart exclusive for now or what, but if it is, I'd say you're probably okay to wait for a sale or clearance or something like that. If you can pick this up for $10 or less, I think it's worth it. $20, I think, is a bit of a letdown. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you found this? Have you checked it out? Do you agree? Do you think I'm being too hard on it? I mean, it doesn't make me angry. Like, I'm not upset about it. I'm just underwhelmed by it. That's what, you know, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.